You've probably had that moment, scrolling through social media and seeing all the posts. New cars, big vacations, home renovations, and that everyone seems to have. Meanwhile, you're here just trying to keep things steady, managing your expenses, paying bills, maybe saving a little when you can. Feel like you're not doing enough, or like everyone else has it all figured out. But here's what people don't realize. The financial choices you're making every day, the one needle, they're the ones no one sees. And these quiet, behind-the-scenes moves are exactly what you need to give yourself credit for. It's also easy to be people your age, people you went to school with, posting about their nice vacations, staying in $600 per night hotels, or attending high-end events, thinking, how are they really affording this? It's natural to compare, especially when you're working hard to stick to your budget and save for the future. Meanwhile, others are living a life of luxury, seemingly without a care in the world. But here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. You're probably not seeing the full picture. That vacation finance not credit, or they might be living paycheck to paycheck, trying to keep up the look of success. Maybe they receive financial help from their parents or other family. Times, those luxurious moments come at a price, and that price might be more than just money. It could be financial instability and stress down the road. Others are facing the same choices you are. They could be deciding to stay in those $600 hotels, just like you might decide to. But here's where the difference lies. Front route. You're looking beyond the immediate reward, and you're thinking long term. Your decision to save, to prioritize debt paydown, or to skip that expense not seem as glamorous as their weekend in a luxury suite. But in the long run, your choices are setting you up for a stronger, more stable financial future. I could stay in that hotel, but I'd rather prioritize financial security that's going to pay exponential rewards. And yes, it can feel isolating when watching the work you're doing, because unlike a flashy vacation photo, your quiet financial moves don't make it to Instagram. But make no mistake, just because it doesn't mean it's not powerful. No one's going to notice while you're doing it. But one day, they'll notice when you're the one financially free, retired, and staying in those same rooms. Without the debt, without the stress, and without the need to return to work on Monday. The fact is, most of the financial choices that really matter are attention-grabbing ones that are celebrated by everyone around you. Instead, it's the subtle, quiet choices you make day after day that really set you up. Think about it. How often do you hear about someone deciding not to upgrade their phone when they could? Or making the choice to skip a weekend getaway because it doesn't quite fit in the choices that seem small, even insignificant, but they're exactly the kinds of moves that will make the difference in the long run. But that's not all. You're also making the credit card bill in full each month instead of carrying a balance. You drive an older car, even though you're tempted to trade it in for something new every time you pass a tiny models. Or maybe you're putting money into your 401k each paycheck, even if it's just a small amount. Those might seem like basic, everyday reality. They're the exact things that will set you apart. Each time you stick to your budget, make an extra payment on your loan, or invest in your future, you're laying the long-lasting, even if the rewards don't show up for years. Nobody's clapping for these choices, and they're not getting the likes and comments you get if you were post-hell, but you shouldn't be beating yourself up for making these smart choices. So why don't these quiet wins feel like real wins? Simple, because they don't. Sometimes just the opposite. When you make the choice to cook dinner at home instead of splurging on takeout, there's no dopamine spike. You don't get to it's not exciting. And that's where the challenge lies. We're wired to look for instant results, to see big rewards right away. It takes patience. Imagine this. You've just put money into your investments, and almost immediately, the market drops, putting you in the red. After months of hard bid $5,000, in just days later, its value drops to $4,900, $4,500, or even less. It's painful, even to recover, and now you're stuck waiting just to break even. This isn't easy. It requires discipline, practice, and long-term perspective. You might even think it's $500 right off the bat. You should have just used it for something fun. It's in moments like this that the second guessing sneaks in. You start to wonder if they're worth it. You question if you should have made different choices, gone on that trip, bought the car, and lived a little. And that's understandable, because the rewards aren't always visible in the short term. You're putting in effort now for a benefit that won't come for many months, maybe even years. But that's exactly how it works. The early days feels like nothing is happening. And then suddenly, everything starts happening all at once. It's hard to grasp the full impact because it starts off painfully slow, almost imperceptible at first. But many of us are familiar with the story of a penny that doubles every day for day 15. It's only worth $163, which hardly seems impressive. But by day 30, that same penny has grown to over 5. This dramatic increase shows just how powerful compound interest can be if you're willing to wait, even though the early stages feel frustrating and insignificant. Your financial progress feels like right now. You're on day 8, maybe day 12, and it just looks like a few bucks here and there. But if you keep going, they'll explode, and the money comes faster than you can spend it. It's the choice to automate your savings, even if it's only $25 a paycheck. It's tracking, making sure it aligns with your goals. Not obsessing over every little purchase, but being mindful of where your money is going. It's the habit of contributing to your daily, even when you can only spare a small amount. It's choosing to stay in a smaller apartment or home, even when you could afford something bigger and nicer. It's to upgrade your lifestyle every time you get a raise or bonus, even though it's tempting to do so. These choices don't feel monumental at the time, but they all compound, they layer, and one day they'll be undeniable. These are the moves that don't feel like much in the moment, but they're the exact ones that eventually give. If you've ever felt like you're not doing enough, it's likely because society teaches us that financial success is all about big wins. We're constantly doing huge investments, landing the dream job, or making tons of money like those influencers online with a penthouse apartment who are trying to promote a course to help you, simply not the reality of building wealth. Success, more often than not, comes from consistently making smart choices, even when no one's watching. Emergency fund, steadily contributing to your retirement accounts, and paying down debt. Not chasing the newest gadget or stretching your budget to keep up with the Joneses, comparing your life to others and feeling like you're behind. What really counts is the steady progress you're making. Compared to last year, have your debts gone down? Anything? Have you made progress towards a higher income? It's boring and no one notices except you, but it makes a difference. Building wealth doesn't happen. It's a slow, steady progress with frequent ups and downs. The key is sticking with the habits that matter, even when they don't feel like they're producing instant results. To be perfect, and you don't need to be moving at the same pace as everyone else. What really matters is that you're moving in the right direction, and that adds up, not just exponentially. So here's something worth reminding yourself of. You've probably made smart money choices this year that you don't even realize, and it's time to give yourself take a moment to think about the financial wins you've had this year, no matter how small, because they're not getting you any attention from your peers or on social media. A little bit of debt, avoided an impulse purchase, or saved a little more than you thought you could. At some point, those same people bragging about staying in that same hotel are going to be wondering how you're doing the same. Debt-free, retired, and with more than enough passive income.